we're going to take a look at World of Warcraft Shadowlands patch 9.2 Eternity's End as a returning player, primarily PvP, although what I did do in 9.0 is, I was actually a heavy raider in 9.0. I did both. I played the game a hell of a lot in 9.0. 9.1, I did raid Sanctum of Domination a little bit. That raid burnt me the hell out of this game. Straight up, did not enjoy myself. 9.1.5, I tested a little bit. I played just a little bit, just PvP, just some arenas here and there. So anyway, so at 9.2, I'm coming back. I would love to just play some arena. And I'm not that interested in PvE, but let's take a look. Let's take a look at the catch-up systems. Let's take a look at what we have to do to get fully geared and everything in 9.2 with the new, systems upon systems and systems lands, whatever. Let's take a look at what we have to do in 9.2 to get up to speed to be able to play the game. So what I did is I logged into my mage. This is him. Hello. Logged into my mage, and I did the Zereth Mortis campaign, which is, if you're not familiar, is the new zone in 9.2, obviously, like the new daily zone. You can get to it over here. There's a new portal to Zereth Mortis right here. We'll take a look at this. So in Zereth Mortis, if you do this campaign, it takes a few hours. It's not a quick thing, in my opinion. It's not super long. Let's leave this queue just so we don't, that doesn't interrupt us. So the campaign isn't super long, but it does take a few hours, I think. It's not too bad. It's really not too bad. Once you do it on one character, you can skip it on alts. So that's kind of cool. You can skip part of it on alts. So that's cool. You can skip the first 3 chapters out of 7. So there's 7 chapters in total. As you can see, I didn't even do the chapters of Chains of Domination because that sucked. This sucked less. Definitely sucked less. So you can skip the first 3 chapters on an alt, which is really good. The first 3 chapters are the kind of the most time-consuming part. Or I'd say the first 3 chapters are about half of the overall story. So basically, you skip about half of the time on alts, which is not too bad. I don't know why you don't just skip the whole thing on alts. That makes no sense to me. I think you should just be able to do this on one character, completely be done with it. I have absolutely no idea why why you can only skip half. But once you complete the story for Zereth Mortis, you get access to a vendor here. And as well as there's another vendor here. Where is he? There's another vendor that allows you to buy gear as well. We'll look for that. I don't know where exactly that one is. Might be over here. No, that's repairs. Anywho, you get access to this vendor here. So once you complete the story, you can get this guy right here, increases your attunement to the Shadowlands, learning all conduits and raising them to item level 226. That's a cool catch-up mechanic, right? Conduits are a pain in the ass, especially if you're a PvPer, dude. Sucked. Absolutely sucked. I can't even tell you. So, having them all at 226 while being kind of low, it's still better than... it's still better. So, as an example, Cryo Freeze, right? While inside Ice Block, you heal for 99% of your maximum health. This is at Conduit level 226. At 200, which is what I had before with the previous catch-up mechanic, I think, it was 88%. So, you jump up. I jumped up 11% of my max health healing inside of Ice Block. That's pretty good. So you just get to buy that, bam, raise it. You do need friendly. You do have to be friendly, but you get friendly for completing the story. I didn't do anything but the story, and I was friendly. Pretty much instantly. Also, once you complete the story, you get your second legendary, which is this Cord of Unity belt. It's set stats, set item level, and it automatically changes based on what covenant you have. So if I go switch immediately to Venthyr or Necrolord or Kyrian, as I'm Night Fae right now, the legendary effect will shift to the corresponding legendary for that covenant. I don't have to do anything, which is pretty cool. The downside of this is that the stats are crit mastery and they're set, and as like a fire mage, for example, those are the opposite of the two stats that I would like. I want verse haste for PvP, that is. I believe for maybe it's something else for PvE. I know haste is still your main stat though, so this doesn't have haste on it, which is unfortunate. The plus side, you don't have to craft this. You don't have to craft this at all. You get it for free, which is awesome. Super awesome. Thank God, right? Torghast sucks. That being said, I did do Torghast for my other legendary, which I'm actually equipping the wrong one right now. That's the legendary I mainly run with for fire. But that is 291, so the max level of legendaries did go up to 291. So that's interesting. And it's much, much easier to craft legendaries now, I've found out. We'll touch on that in a bit. Once you get to Revered, you can grab this Memory of Unity, which means you can craft that legendary effect onto any other piece of gear. I'm not sure what's limited here. I don't know what pieces exactly you can craft, but you can craft the legendary at 291 with the appropriate stats for your class, which is definitely a benefit. Revered, I really wish this wasn't revered. I'm going to be honest. I really, really wish this wasn't revered. If it was honored, great. If it was friendly, that would be even greater. I don't understand why we're given this crap-ass one when we could just be given access to the memory, especially with how easy it is to craft legendaries now, right? So you would think, oh, okay, well, this is nice because you don't have to craft a legendary. Well, crafting a legendary is actually much, much easier now. Which, again, we'll touch on. So I'm not sure why, but you get that. You also get, excuse me, you also get gear as a catch-up mechanic in here. And I need to find out where the actual fuck that vendor is. I just did this for my priest. I just did this. Where is it? Nope. Nope. Are you a dude that I can talk to? What? Nope. Where the hell is this vendor? Deliver my anima. No, I don't want to deliver my anima anywhere. Maybe I do. I don't know. Ah, here we go. So, this vendor here, Haja. Yeah. You can buy catch-up gear. You can create this gear on yourself if you need it, which, if you do, definitely do it. But you can also send this to alts, right? So for 500 anima apiece, which anima is very easy to come by right now. Very, very easy to come by. I had 12,000, and then just by like logging in. I've never farmed anima in this game, or especially in this patch. So for 500 anima apiece, you can create 226 gear, and this is binds to Blizzard account. So you can just send this to your alt. So I just sent this over to my alt priest. Created a full set of 226 gear. You can get weapons, accessories, which right there should be trinkets. You can get necklace, cloak, ring. So you can the entire thing. You can just deck out your whole, every slot, bam, 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 with 226 gear right away. Which that's actually pretty good. Previously, I remember what I had to do was I had to go on the auction house, buy all 200 crafted gear. And then that was kind of the catch-up gear that you got to utilize. This is way better. So, that's a great catch-up mechanic as well. As far as legendaries, let's touch on that. There's a new currency, it looks like, called Cosmic Flux. Cosmic Flux is what you need to craft your legendary to the highest level. I believe that Soul Cinders was the previous currency that you needed for 9.1. Obviously, Soul Ash was the original currency. So you need now 3 currencies, which getting a bit much, but thankfully it's very, 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 very easy to get Cosmic Flux. So easy to get Cosmic Flux. All you have to do is play the game. Like, legitimately, all you have to do is play the game. I have 4,000 Cosmic Flux after crafting my 291 Legendary, almost exclusively from just Arena, right? I've collected maybe 2 treasures in this zone as I was completing the story, which gave me maybe 200 Flux each or something like that. Outside of that, I have basically solely played Arena, and I am at 4,000 Flux. To put this into perspective, you need a total of 2,000 Cosmic Flux for a max level Legendary, plus 1,650 Soul Cinders here, and 5,150 Soul Ash. So 5,150 Soul Ash, 1,650 Soul Cinders, and then 2,000 Cosmic Flux. I have already crafted a Legendary. I have only arena'd, and I'm back at 4,000 Cosmic Flux. So the next question you might be asking is, how do you get the Soul Cinders and the Soul Ash? Well, this part is nice. If you hit Honored with the Enlightened, which I don't know how easy that is to do, but you're friendly by default. I would assume that is not a big deal to accomplish. You can spend 3,000 Cosmic Flux, and it's a bag. This bag contains the remnants of the Lost from Torghast, enough Soul Ash and Soul Cinders for the Rune Carver to craft a powerful legendary item. Basically, this item gives you all of the Soul Ash, all of the Soul Cinders that you need to craft a legendary at max rank. So if you get 5,000 Cosmic Flux, and as you can see, I already have 4,000 again just from playing Arena, then if you farm that just a little bit, just play the game, you can just buy everything you need, all the Soul Ash and the Soul Cinders that you need, and just craft a Legendary. Just done. So this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. This should have been in the game from the beginning, in my opinion. This is spectacular. Make Torghast. Torghast is now optional, essentially. I think you will probably get the mats faster if you run Torghast, because you could do it, get all of the mats in a few hours, because Torghast just dumps mats on you now for your legendaries. But you don't have to, and that's amazing. I can actually craft a legendary just from playing PvP. Thank you, Blizzard. Thank you. That being said, we can also go and take a look at Torghast just real quick to show you guys what's changed there. They have a new mode here, which I want to take a look at. But outside of that, those are the catch-ups here in Zereth Mortis. And then, so Zereth Mortis itself, the zone, it's okay. It's nice to be in somewhere that has just like a hint of greenery. So that's cool. I'm kind of tired of this, stark fucking Shadowlands bullshit. Oh, it really drags on you. So it's nice to be in a different kind of aesthetic. That's for sure, but... okay, so we're here in the Maw, which another nice little thing is you can mount in the Maw, which is great. I don't think this was a 9.2 change. I think this was a 9.1 change. Either way, thank God. Either way, thank God. Okay, so we're here in Torghast. So Torghast has its 2 open layers now, and then, or 2 open wings, rather, I should say. Then we have the Twisting Corridors. That, that thing you only did one time and then never touched it again, if you remember that one. And then we have the Jailer's Gauntlet. And the Jailer's Gauntlet's actually pretty cool. So, the Jailer's Gauntlet, right here. So you get a bunch of materials, a crap load of materials for this. And this is actually fun. So, fight through 8 layers of creatures and bosses from every wing of Torghast. Basically what it is you go into layer 1, and it's boss rush. It's essentially boss rush. You just fight boss after boss after boss on every floor. You are exploded with... You are just given a huge amount of Torghast powers. So it's actually kind of fun. I wouldn't do this, like in my free time, but just for funsies now that I've already completed the, and received the reward. I do believe you may only do this once to receive the reward, if I'm not mistaken. Because I definitely did this, like it's been it's reset already. Weekly resets happened. And it still says reward received. I have not done the last one yet. But anyways, you are just showered in powers. I ended, you end runs with 40, 50 or plus powers, which is, kind of fun actually. And it's just bosses. And it doesn't take that long. The last layer is actually pretty tough. Recommended item level 275. I am not 275. And we had trouble on that one. I was doing it with some friends. But you do get a mount, but as you can see, you get a lot of soul ash, a lot of soul cinders, right? And you get a lot for each one here. So that's pretty cool. Aside from that, then we have the individual wings, which I do believe like I said, they've increased the amount of materials you gain from these wings. So here we are. Yeah, so 2,800 Soul Ash, 1,000 Soul Cinders, 70 Cosmic Flux. So you run 2 of these, and you have everything you need for a max level Lego, except for the Cosmic Flux. But like I said, the Cosmic Flux you get from everything. So that's amazing. Additionally, Torghast is repeatable now, it looks like. I think this was the 9.1.5 change. It is repeatable, so you can just blast all of that out in a day if you want to. Additionally, let's see what else is great here, or what else is bad. We should look at that too. So those are kind of the good things to catch your character up. Getting legendaries really fast. Getting gear pretty quick to kind of get caught up. PvP gear is the same thing it was before. Raid gear, same thing it was before, to my knowledge. We don't have any of the bullshit like shards of domination systems. So that's great. We do have tier sets though. So I want to talk about tier sets. The one thing that I have found to be an incredible frustration so far is tier sets. And that'll lead me right into the Great Vault as well, because there's some cool things actually that happen to the Great Vault. But tier sets, this is the big negative of the patch in my opinion. Not that tier sets exist, but how you acquire them. Because they didn't create a special tier set for PvP, naturally, because apparently they don't seem to, it feels like Blizzard doesn't seem to give as much of a crap about PvPers anymore, which is a real bummer. Tier sets work across the board universally for PvE and PvP. So that means that some tier sets, because they were very, 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 very clearly designed for PvE, are atrocious in PvP, and some are spectacular. For example, Fire Mage, being just because I play the class, the tier set bonus, and we can find that actually. Here we can take a look. Whoops, wrong area. In the dungeon journal, and we can go to loot, and we can look at item sets. All right. So the tier set bonus for Fire Mage. The 2 set increases the duration of combustion by 4 seconds. Okay. Not terrible. Not great either. Not terrible, not great. Typically, combustion, you don't get max value out of combustion anyways. You're going to get purged a lot or whatever, right? Or they're just going to die before combustion's over. So that's kind of like, okay. 4 set, while combustion is active, your Fire Blast and Phoenix Flame recharge 50% faster. So that actually seems pretty good to me. The 4 set seems really, really good. But not amazing, right? It's not that great because you kind of blast through your whole rotation while combustion is active anyways. You're gonna long story short, if you don't play a mage, it's not that big of a deal. It's good, but it's not that big of a deal. The downside here is look at these stats. Crit haste, verse mastery, crit mastery, haste verse, haste mastery. The only one that has optimal stats is the shoulder here. And you can't change the stats on these, so it may not even be worth running. On the other side, on the flip side, can we look at other classes? Yeah, we can. Nice, nice, nice. So if we look at like Assassination Rogue, Assassination Rogue has 2 set. Shiv causes enemies within 15 yards, to take 40% increased damage from your poison and bleeds for 9 seconds. So that turns Shiv into a 30-second, I believe it is, 25-second, insane cooldown. Okay. And then Vendetta causes poisons and bleeds on your target to expire 100% faster. Wow. That's incredible, right? That is an incredible set. Shiv increase causes enemies within 15 yards, everybody, to take 40% increased damage from your poisons and your bleeds for 9 seconds. So you can Shiv on cooldown with Kidney, and every Kidney is a go, essentially, with that, right? That's crazy. So obviously they also don't get the the perfect stats, the ideal stats or whatever, but so that's a gripe of mine, that some of the sets, because they're not segmented out for PvP specifically like they used to be back in the old days, some of them are good for PvP, some of them are really not good for PvP. Additionally, acquiring tier sets is not optimal. The only way to do that in PvP is through the Great Vault here. And if you don't get lucky, well, go fuck yourself, because you just don't get a tier set. I've opened 3 Great Vaults, I think, since coming back, 2 or 3. I have no tier at all, not a single piece. 2 or 3 Great Vaults is probably not that. I'm not sure how many people who played from the start of 9.2 have gotten. But I know, there's got to be people who don't have any tier, and some people who have 4 set. And so, you meet somebody in an arena with 4 set, like Assassination Rogue, and they just clap your cheeks. And there's because you don't have your 4 set. I guess as Fire Mage, it doesn't really matter because my set is kind of mediocre anyways. For raiding, obviously, they still drop from the raid. So that kind of, if your tier set is really, really good in PvP, it does incentivize you to go raid. I'm not a fan of that. I don't think that you should be gaining power from PvE to PvP. A small amount of that maybe is okay with me. Not that much, especially not with the tier sets. So either those should have been separated, or there should be a catch-up mechanic for PvP. So that leads us into how you acquire tier down the road if you aren't lucky, such as me so far. Blizzard is introducing something called the Creation Catalyst. I think this is coming in the next couple of weeks, where you get to essentially convert a piece of gear. So I can actually convert a piece of PvP gear into a piece of PvE gear, i.e. the tier set, into a tier set piece, into a tier piece. This does change the stats on it. So whether that's worth it for your class is up to you. I'm undecided on if I want to do that on my mage, because I don't know if losing all of that haste and verse is actually worth the set bonus right now. I haven't really decided. Either way, that is a way to catch up, right? However, you can only convert 1 per week. Yeah, so 5 or 6 weeks before you're going to have tier. That's a lot of time. That is a lot of time before you get tier. I don't know. I don't like this system at all. I mean, I'm happy that there's a way to catch up. There's a way to get the tier. This is a very big downside, though, to the patch, in my opinion, because some of those tier bonuses, man, they are crazy. They are crazy. Some of them are so good. Let's look at, like, Windwalker Monk. I know this one's really good. It increases Fist of Fury damage by 40%. After 10 offensive abilities, your next 3 offensive abilities deal an additional 22% damage. Okay, that's just a 40% damage increase on one of your main damaging abilities, and then a 22% little burst, mini... I mean, 22% extra damage is a lot of extra damage. Every 10 abilities. So you can line that up and do explosive damage. Another mediocre one would be Priest for Shadow. This is kind of mediocre, just gives you free Mind Blast, basically. That sounds okay. I haven't really tested this. Doesn't sound that great. Your Mind Blasts don't really do that much damage in PvP. Another good example is Hunter, where a survival hunter is crazy. When kill command resets, it has a 40% chance to make your next wildfire bomb incur no cooldown. Wow. Wildfire bomb deals 30% additional damage. This bonus is increased to 80% for bombs empowered by Mad Bombardier. So that's nuts too. That's just huge damage. So again, this is my one real gripe with this patch, is the way that tier sets were handled. I like that tier sets are back. I like tier sets in general. It's a cool flavor piece. It makes gear fun. It's not just stat sticks. You actually have, you're working towards something. I remember Tier and Legion being really fun to acquire, but Tier and Legion wasn't active in PvP. Yeah. So that's my downside. After that rant, let's round stuff off though with another positive of the patch. So just to kind of recap, catch-up gear in Zereth Mortis, I like that. Catch-up conduits in Zereth Mortis, I like that. You catch up legendary mats just from doing anything, just from PvP, excuse me. I like that. That's amazing. The downside, Zereth Mortis story, have to repeat on alts. Absolutely hate this. Take this away, please. I don't understand why I have to do it more than once. Maybe there's a reason that I don't get. That is actually quite possible that there's there's some reason to do that, positive pro reason that I don't understand. But god damn it, I am not here to do the story. Some people are, and I completely respect that if that's what you want to do. Absolutely. But that's not how I want to play the game. Let us, if we've done it once, I know the story. I've done it. I've done it once. I don't need to do it again. And then the other downside, tier sets. The way you acquire tier sets, I don't like. I wish there was either just take them away in PvP or give us a better way to acquire them. That doesn't take this long. Okay, that being said, once everybody has access to their tier set in a few weeks, this is not going to be a big deal. I want to be clear with that. I sound very complainy, and that's because it's irritating. But once everybody has their tier, it's not going to be that big of a deal. So that's good. I think the downside though is that it's really going to change balancing in PvP because some tier sets are crazy. Some tier sets are out of this world. Again, Assassination Rogue being an example. Some are out of this world, while some of them, like Fire Mage, or another great example is Sub Rogue, aren't very good. Or in Sub's case, your finishing moves have a 3% chance per combo point to cast Shadow Strike at up to 5 enemies within 15 yards. That's unplayable. How do you play that? You can't. That just breaks CC. How do you play that? So, I'm afraid of what balance is going to be like. I'm afraid those who have crazy tier sets like Assassination or Destro Warlock tier sets insane. They're just going to be, really, really strong. But okay, so that's kind of a summary of what we've talked about so far. That's my pros and cons. So far, I'm having a fun time. The last thing I wanted to touch on is the changes to the Great Vault. This is good. This is good. This is really good. So, with the Great Vault, it's so infuriating. We all have been there, where you go, oh my god, okay, it's Tuesday. I'm logging in. I have 3 rows. I have 6 rows. I have 8, 9. I have everything maxed out. This is awesome. Bam, duplicates. Nothing is usable. It's like, dude, oh my god. Oh my god. It's so disheartening because somebody else got the weapon, the PvP weapon, and they don't have to spend 1800 conquest. They get it for free, basically. Or, the dudes who have 4 set right now. Well, I've gotten the last 2 vaults, duplicates. They were not usable. So frustrating. Okay, so they've done something to fix this-ish, to make it better. Now, instead of, if you choose an option, so typically down here when you've chosen, when you can actually choose, right, at weekly reset, there's an option here that says I don't want any of this gear, basically. You choose, it used to be Stygia. It used to be Stygia, which is who the fuck cares? Now, what it is, I guess Stygia in the first season, you could get sockets if you ground the rep out, and that was BS. I didn't ever actually do that. It's just not worth my time. That does not sound fun. So now you get these brokerage coins, which I should have a couple. Here we go. Attendance tokens, not brokerage tokens. Attendance tokens can be exchanged. You take these over to this guy here, and then you can buy Stygia if you want, but I would not recommend. You can increase your renown for 1 of them. You can get gold for 3 of them. This is 3,000 gold if you need some gold. You can get 500 cosmic flux. More ways to get cosmic flux and craft legendaries. Love it. And the best one for 6. Add a socket to Shadowlands Season 3 item that does not already have one. Can be used on helms, necks, bracers, belts, and rings. Yes. 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 You can get sockets on your gear by just grabbing the tokens from the Great Vault. So if you don't have any gear that is good, grab some tokens, get some gold, get some cosmic flux, get some soul ash even, you know, like whatever. Get some reputation. Get some Korthite crystals. Although I don't. Oh, that's for Valor. Nah, never mind. Nothing on this side, but all here. And then add sockets to your gear. That's so good. Honestly, that is really good. I never got sockets on my gear in the other patches because I could not be asked to grind rep in PvE for sockets. It took forever. I just had no interest in doing it. This is way better. It makes not getting something in the Great Vault actually not feel quite as bad. As an example, I socketed my Cosmic Gladiator's necklace with 16 haste. Great, love it. Okay, awesome. Good change, Blizzard. Good change. So, with all of that being said, I haven't done any Mythic Plus yet. I haven't raided. I'm not even sure if I'm going to. I just don't know that I have an interest in it. Sanctum of Domination burnt me the hell out on raiding. I'm gonna be, not gonna lie. That being said, though, what are my thoughts on this patch overall? As a returning player, primarily focused on PvP, I think it's good. I think it's good. There are some weird PvP trinkets. I never touched on those, but maybe we should just real quick. There's some PvP trinkets. This new one, the Cosmic Gladiator's Resonator, you basically throw it down. It's kind of like a meteor delayed damage that everybody, depends on how many people are in it. That's kind of fun. But then there's also these trinkets like this one, the Echoing Resolve. The duration of incoming crowd control effects is increased by 20%, does not stack with similar effects when affected, protects from the next spell interruption and crowd control effect, persisting 15 seconds. Essentially, you replace your medallion with this and every other CC you are immune to. Don't like this. Don't like that this is in the game. There's some other ones as well. I don't have the quest for it at the moment, but there's a quest that you get here in the Enclave. You just get it, and as you passively do stuff in Zereth Mortis, it completes, or you can grind it out. Took me about 30 minutes, and you can get that trinket. You can repeat this every week, so you can get all of the trinkets, and then you'll get some honor after that, which is cool. I like that. I like that. I like that. It's a weekly quest that gives you a crap load of honor or trinkets, or trinkets if you don't have them. Really like that. Don't like these trinkets at all. It's infuriating to play against. Absolutely infuriating. So we'll add that to the cons list. So my overall thoughts now as a PvPer main, primarily coming back in 9.2. Is it worth playing this patch? I would say yes. I'm not convinced that it is, though. I'm having fun. PvP is fun right now. The meta, and I don't know if that's just because of the meta shakeup. It's always fun at the beginning, or kind of, well, this isn't beginning, but nearish beginning of patches to play PvP because people are figuring stuff out. And that's fun. You can kind of experiment. I love that. So, it could be that. But also catching up to where I needed to be was really easy. And that's amazing. I love that. I mean, like I said, aside from tier set and some bullshit trinkets, but the bullshit trinkets you can access very easily. You get your second legendary very, very easily. Just do the story, although, yes, it takes way too long, and yes, it shouldn't need to be done on alts. Getting a max level legendary, very easy. I still have a crafted ring. I need to replace this. I have no gold, though. Anyways, yeah, so catching up is super, super easy by comparison to previous patches, and I really like that. The gear disparity in Arena still exists, between rating brackets. I don't love that. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like how gear jumps between brackets. Or if it does, just bring it in a little bit. It's too much still, I think. They did bring it in once, but it's too much. So that's good. Tier sets are frustrating. Outside of that, though, it is still Shadowlands, so if you don't like the core gameplay of Shadowlands, like how your class feels to play, how Arena feels to play in Shadowlands, you're not going to like this. It's still Shadowlands. I, on the other hand, generally like the gameplay feel in Shadowlands. It's the systems that I don't enjoy. So being able to kind of bypass a lot of the BS systems so far, that's a really good bonus in my opinion, and it makes trying the patch at least worthwhile. Here's my concern. I have a very strong feeling that in 9.2, Blizzard is going to bring in even more catch-up mechanics. They're going to make it so that everything is even easier. I love that, but it does make me worry that I'm going to play 9.2 and then 9.2.5 comes out. And all of the stuff that I had to do is now half the time. And it's like, why would I not just wait to play in 9.2.5 since that's, I presume, going to be the last patch of the expansion. So it's kind of frustrating to me that Blizzard generally does all of these systems and then makes them easy or just completely nullifies their existence later on. So it feels like, why were they there to begin with? So I'm a little worried about that. On the other hand, you can make the argument that you're, you're dealing with the system so you can play now and not later. Yeah, okay. But there is that concern. So those are my overall thoughts as a returning player, primarily focused on PvP. Legendaries, easy to get. Tier sets, not so easy to get. Great Vault improvements and sockets, love it. Conduit catch-up, not bad. Gear catch-up, not bad. Second legendary, pretty easy to acquire. New zone, not that bad. Not that bad. Don't mind it. Don't love it, but don't mind it. So overall, I'm having a good time. I'm having a really good time. I have queued a lot of Arena in a very short amount of time, and that's pretty much all I've done, and that is the best thing in my mind. That's all I've had to do. Aside from the story, that's all I've had to do. Aside from the zone, that's all I've had to do. I did run the boss rush in Torghast, the Jailer's Gauntlet. I did do that because I wanted my legendary right away, and I had a good time. Actually, it was actually fun. So, but you really don't have to do much outside of PvP, and that's how it should be. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to, if you want to see some more. Leave a comment down below if you have any additional thoughts, or you disagree with what I said, you agree with what I said, you just want to say hi, whatever. But that's it. See you in the next.